Hi, Karen from Quantum Heart Awakening. This is a divine feminine support reading. I'm all fired up in the best of ways. I just finished a session with someone, a wonderful woman. We had a wonderful reading. I'm all jazzed up, and I thought, now's the time. I was actually being called to stay away from feminine support readings for this chunk of time. If you remember the last one I posted, I think it was all about taking space to rest, to go inward, to reflect, to take inventory of where you're at on the path, assess how far you've come. Yesterday was the entire day. I got the same message from about 5 or 6 different sources. Excuse me. I'm so sorry. I'm still coughing on camera. It is what it is for now. Thank you for being patient while my lungs heal. Yesterday, I got this message over and over again that we are evaluating what is abundance to us. What is wealth to us? What is a firm foundation? What is security? What delights us? We are being called to check in. And I did so much intense inner work yesterday. A lot of stuff was coming out of my body, a lot of like old trauma, a lot of just old stuff, just purging. I was exhausted, and I've never had more energy in my life. I didn't sleep all night. I was up till 5 a.m. and then I slept for a little bit, went for a long walk. I am like buzzing today. And this is what happens. I can't believe I'm telling you guys all this, but I think this is what happens when we clear something and the energy can flow unobstructed. And we don't have to use any of our life force to go back and clean up what is not, what's stuck, what's messy, what's unfinished. Yeah. So the work I personally did yesterday was evaluating my goals of like, do these goals still even apply? Do I even care that much about, building this or making that much money or doing that? Or like, do I care about these things? Do these things still support my soul aligned path in the present moment? And the answer was no to a lot of them. And I was flabbergasted. And also, this is right. This is how spirit works. It's totally ordinary. Carolyn Mace always says, I'm obsessed with Carolyn Mace. I'm like been a scholar of her for many years. She always says, take the extraordinary out of God, bring God down to ground level. And so me and my friends always say, like, instead of being in awe of something, we just joke and we say, oh, #ordinary. Like, oh, that's ordinary. Of course, spirit intervened. Of course, you got that synchronicity. Of course, right? And by doing that, we don't use any of our precious energy in the disbelief, right? Because a part of being in awe or stunned by something, there's a little morsel of energetic disbelief. And we don't want to put that out to the universe. It's implied that our prayers will be answered. It's implied that God or spirit, the universe, is listening to us, every single word, every single prayer. And our job is to become so self-aware that we can honor our desires, honor what this soul came here to do. And I'm just so juiced up right now. I'm all fired up. This stuff is, I'm embodying this on a new level that I haven't had access to. And of course it's happening, #ordinary, because I'm doing this YouTube channel and this is the next step of my journey. And this is my version of play. And that's another part of what my abundance is. Abundance could be a number of, money in the bank account. But for me, abundance is, can I show up and be in service in a way that feels liberating and sovereign to my soul? Can I take steps that further nourish my work here, my pleasure, my play? Do I still get to spend time with my family and do the things that I love? And abundance to me is also time and space. I rather make less money a year and have more free time and more space to dive deep deep into my work, deep into the realms of spirit and matter, deep in connecting with my spiritual friends and my consciousness friends. So we are reevaluating what is abundance to us. Okay, where I'm calling people out now. Where are you not turning to source for support? Where in your life are you still thinking you have to do it on your own? Because you don't. You don't. You have this high council, right? Maybe it's your spirit that guides. Maybe it's your soul crew. When I say soul crew, what I mean is I believe that we have a soul family that chooses to incarnate at the same time on the planet as each other with the same sort of mission. And everyone has a different, it's like a group project, right? Everyone has a different role. Your high council could be your soul crew, your spirit guides, your ancestors. It could be angels, archangels, could be other. I'm not very versed in other galactic groups. I'm not very into that. I kind of go straight to source and oneness and work that feels right to me. Excuse me. Maybe it's your twin flame. Maybe it's, I don't know what that is for you, but you have access to a panel of people who have exponential wisdom that you get to tap into. You get to access your highest potential using their wisdom and use these as stepping stones of evolution. We get to step deeper into this transition as we release all that's blocking love. Yes, we are cleansing and purifying. You know what's crazy? This premonition prophecy card keeps coming up in all my readings. And maybe I'm going to read for the book. I almost never read for the book for these angel cards. This is the, there you go. It just keeps coming up and you think I would be smart and just go straight to the book, but that's not how we roll here. That's not how we roll at Quantum Heart Awakening. I have to sing the alphabet when I'm looking for the right letters. Just kidding. Okay, where are we? Nope, this is not it. Hold on, bear with me. Oh, here we go. Okay. Premonition. Trust your instincts and your ability to know, see, feel, and hear the prophetic messages that are coming to you now from the divine. I mean, come on. I've just been talking about how we have this panel of divine creatures at our disposal. The dream appearance of circles, the number 3, and awakening with a sense of knowingness all denote prophecy. This card also reminds you that premonitions are to be respected. They might come to you through symbolic images or intuitive feelings. You are being prepared for an event that is about to occur unless you change your course of action. There is no destined outcome. Stay present, be in the here and now, live in the moment. Use your imaginations to actively create and shape a future that is in alignment with your deepest, highest desire. Trust the flow. Another part about what we're here to do, we're here to... Let me ground for a moment. I'm getting all excited. We are here to learn how to make love to the mystery. The one constant in this life that we get to depend on is change. And we could spend our lives trying to fight change, trying to build systems that will prevent change. But really what that's doing is swimming upriver. Or another way to think of it, trying to push the river, right? It's like standing in the river and saying, no, stop. I'm not ready for the next flow of water. It's a joke, right? So we're learning how to not just survive the mystery and survive change, but actually learn to thrive and make love to the unknown. And this isn't a message in the cards, but I'm getting this so loud, to drop into this, our divine innocence, right? Our divine inner child that is wide-eyed, curious, has to touch everything and take everything apart. They have to learn for themselves, right? When we can sink back into that sacred, awe-inspiring, wonder-filled, mind-opening, eye-opening presence with the unfolding moment. We are making love to the mystery. And what does that do by setting ourselves up? We get to then receive from this loving place, not from a place of fear, not from a place of scarcity, right? We are coming into this deeper trust, deeper knowing, deeper surrender. We are accepting, radically accepting the now, which opens us up to the flow. Yeah, we're being called to higher sovereignty. I've been tiptoeing around this, seeing if a different message came up, but we are being called to a deeper sovereignty. We are no longer outsourcing any fragment of our power, of our emotional health and wealth, of our physical health and wealth. We are identifying these intersections where we may have been we may still be attached to something outside of self. We are learning these lessons. Yeah, this feels very much like divine feminines are back in the classroom a little bit. It has that energy of like, this has nothing to do with the soulmate cycle path. This has nothing, I mean, I say that with a grain of salt because everything contributes, right? But we are not focused on any of that type of work. This is us. This is how we come into inner and outer union, by being radically present with ruthless love and compassion with exactly where we are in the moment. In the unconscious position, we have communion, we have divine abundance, we have problem solving and resolution, and going the distance. So yeah, there is a block to taking next steps right now. So if you're bumping into something, whatever's right in front of you is your job. We're not going to be like a Roomba and bump into something and switch directions. We are going to bump into something and stare at it and feel it and let it into our hearts, minds, and bodies until we can understand what that is, what it needs, and what we need to do to release it. Again, divine abundance is in the unconscious. All of this incredible galactic wealth is waiting to flow into your life, but it needs a space to do so. We are... Okay, hold on. That was a heavy message. So I'm getting another massive message here that divine feminines' nervous systems have not been regulated as a collective for years and years and years. We are coming into this awareness. We are integrating these pieces of self that have not been in our comfort, that have not trusted or valued the feminine flow, right? Let's just call it out. We've lived in a very patriarchal society, and the feminine flow has not always been valued or welcomed. I'm being really nice and generous about this, but I could say some intense, nasty things. I'm not going to, but we all know what those are, right? It's like the air we've been breathing, and you can't see it, right? But we're functioning in this system that hasn't valued a huge part of the population. And so we are honoring the closing of certain cycles. We are staying vigilant, but not drowning in hypervigilance, right? When we're activated, triggered, dysregulated, we can be in a hypervigilant state, right? We're hyper aware of our surroundings. We're hyper attuned to distrust and where the threat might be, right? That's our primitive brain kicking up, right? So we are learning to take back our power. And I think I spent years in women's studies academically and feminism and the whole thing. And it was so hard for me because there was so much pain and suffering as we dismantled systems of injustice. It was so painful for me, but it was a perfect stepping stone on my path, because there's different ways to take back power, right? We can take back power by taking it from someone else, which isn't of the highest and best good because we're depleting someone else of their sovereignty. We could also take back power out of anger, right? That's mine. Gimme it back. I mean, that's a kind of childlike version, but in a, thinking about like the Women's March and all these other different big events that happened right before the time of COVID and everything, this was like a more calmer way to rebel, right? To gather and congregate. And it was, I think they said, I swear I read somewhere that it was the most amount of people and the most peaceful gathering of that many people is what I'm trying to say. Or we can quietly take back our power by giving it to ourselves and just enjoying it and allowing this power to regulate our nervous system, to trust that we are always taken care of, to lean on the unseen. And we get to sit back in the seat of the soul on our throne and just exist with this air of confidence and self-assuredness and I said confidence and self-esteem, and just delight in our own juicy power. Even as I said that, I could feel like how much more relaxed I'm able to be. This is what the feminine is doing. We are finding new ways of coming into relationship and letting it be okay what it looks like. It's going to look different for everyone, but we are releasing and reflecting on what that gets to look like for us. We are giving ourselves exactly what we need without apologizing for it. The image that just came to mind is, it's a known scientific proven thing that now I'm talking about women specifically, that women need more rest than men. It's just been proven that they say 8 to 10 hours because women actually can need 10 hours sometimes. And yet the image I had was like a mother finally getting to rest, and then their partner comes in the door and she hops up to try to, like, God forbid she shows she was resting, right? It's this kind of like performative mask that we've had to wear in so many different situations. We are getting comfortable with taking off that mask and just standing in our truth. Okay, yeah, a very small message here for a small percentage of you about moon cycles. I'll just read it to you. Notice how the moon cycle affects your energy and manifestations, and capitalize upon these cycles. So that kind of feeds into what I just said. I know, depending on what stage of your cycle your body is in, you may have different requirements. And this is something nobody teaches you, right? I didn't learn this as in high school or whatever, we can actually come into aligned, aware relationship with what do we need at different parts of our cycle. We can then gift that honor to ourselves so that we can get enough nourishment, get enough rest, and we could use it to our advantage and honor when it's a time to be creative, when it's a time to build the thing, when it's a time to do absolutely nothing and pull back your energy. We are coming into deeper alignment, and this is another invitation to lean on your divine counsel. Lean on divine love. Allow it in. This is another part of the feminine energy. We are training to learn how to receive. We are training ourselves to heal enough so that we feel worthy to receive. That's a big one, right? We are becoming our own beloveds. And the way we are taught how to love ourselves is by looking upward to how the universe loves us, to how God loves us. We are tapping in to not just our human flow, not just like a day-to-day task kind of flow, but a flow that is informed by higher guidance and intuition. When we come into deeper alignment with that, then the wise discernment flows out of our every which way, out of our nose, out of our ears, out of our eyeballs, Divine wise discernment. I'm going to talk about discernment and boundaries in every freaking reading. This is what's so hard. We actually have to create boundaries around our space and time, our physical environment, so that we have enough distance and space to dismantle these things, so that we can understand which direction is our intuition guiding us. We are clearing out old karma, old stories. We are releasing the past, both from this life and from previous lifetimes. What does this do? This feeds our sovereignty, right? When we plug all these leaks in our human vessel, then our energy finally starts to concentrate. And what does that allow us? What is that then? What happens? We are then privileged to consciously and intentionally invest our very precious life force in exactly what we want to invest in choices that are aligned. We are no longer making choices that bleed us dry and force us to operate at a deficit. We are accessing and wielding our power and our sovereignty so that we could step into holy love and freedom. Okay. Yeah, another piece of the it's the same message we're getting. Another couple things that are in the unconscious is, yeah, where are you not spreading your wings? Some of you might be listening and you're like, Karen, I've already done all this. Like I've done it, right? I roll, I get it. Well, I'm going to kind of invite you in a loving way and push you to ask yourself, where are you not spreading your wings? Is there something that's lying in the back of your mind that you've always wanted to do and haven't done it? Or do you get like a hunch that maybe you're supposed to be, I don't know, going to volunteer once a month, or maybe you get a hunch to go be barefoot in the park. I don't know. I'm pulling these out of nowhere, but you get what I mean. It's like, is there something that's nagging you? Is there something that's just lingering around? Because I know it doesn't, excuse me, I know it doesn't look like it, but when we get these little hunches, that's a divine nudge. Divine guidance is always coming in 24/7. It's just, we are blocking it in some way. There are blocks to it, and it's our job to remove the blocks. Once we remove the blocks, divine guidance comes in like a tsunami, and we actually have to ground a little bit, because there's so much guidance that we don't know what to do first, right? We have to process it. What was I going to say? Oh, that divine guidance is flowing around us all the time. If you get a nudge, Carolyn Mace in my energy anatomy days, she always talks about this. And I love this example because I feel like everybody has experienced this. She's like, when you get that nudge that you should clean out that closet, everybody has like that thing, right? Maybe it's your car. Maybe it's that one stuff drawer where everybody puts all their crap and then you don't even know what's in it because you can't even see below the top surface. If you get a hunch to clean out that drawer or that closet, do it. That's a divine nudge that it's going to clear some energetic space to then put you in a different position to set you up to receive something else. However, if you keep that closet clogged or messy or filled with clothes that don't even fit you anymore, that's taking up precious real estate in your energetic building, in your energetic vessel. Okay. Do you hear how fired up I am today? I'm all jazzed up. I don't think there's anything else. Let me see. I need to read this to you. So the Freedom card, which has this beautiful hummingbird, and it almost looks like these hands are bound by something. It says, I no longer want this fiery ring of resentment to block the good. Release me from its bonds. So going back to the closet analogy situation, the other energetic currency reason, or no, I'm sorry, my brain's going a mile a minute. The other thing is that this is also occupying real estate in your mind. So every time you walk by that closet and you're like, oh crap, I should clean that out. Every time you have that conversation with yourself, you are occupying very precious real estate in your mind. And you are bleeding energy to that thing over and over and over again. If you just do it, nip it in the bud, it's done. And you don't have to bleed anymore. You have plugged that leak and you have freed up another one of your energetic circuits so that you can be fully in the here and now. All right. I'm going to get one of these lovely. Let's see. All right, what does Divine and Feminine need to know for the highest and best good of self-improvement? We have the presence of love will always cast out fear. Oneness is my true nature. Well, that's right up my alley as a oneness initiate. I am spirit having a human experience, and I'm here to get closer to love. My outer experiences are a reflection of my internal condition. Amen. So if you got a messy house, you got a messy mind. I mean, God, my mom and my grandmother were saying that forever. Okay. What else? Let's get some animal apothecaries. Woo. Okay, here's another theme, and it came up in, I can't remember, we had a reading where there was a very heavy thread about healing sexual trauma or physical trauma. And so this is an invitation. This is for someone. This is so specific, but if you have ever heard of somatic body work, someone needed this nudge to go find a somatic body worker, go find a somatic therapist, because what that somatic therapy, and forgive me, someone might know more about this than I do. It's not my zone of genius. However, I have done a lot of work with emotional release and regulating the nervous system and, being trauma informed, but I haven't gotten into somatic body work in that kind of way. So it's just somatic means is working with the body. So somatic therapy is bringing our stories up to the surface and then seeing where in the body these different things happen. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I could just run through some emotional release tools really quick. When you are starting to approach the edge of a difficult memory or a difficult experience, be very, take care of what's moving through your body. If it's too much to hold and you feel like it's going to flood your circuits, then back off and then move your body. You could literally shake. You can't see me on camera, but I'm doing it. You could shake, you can wiggle your butt. You can do a hand scream. You can do some pillow pounding. You could jump rope or get a hula hoop, or I have a mini rebounder, like a mini trampoline that I move a lot of energy that way. If tears start to come, let them come. Tears are sacred purifications. Tears are so beautiful. They help us literally see clearly. They are a way of releasing our emotions and coming back into homeostasis. So this narrative is for a group of you out there. I mean, I had a ton of emotional releases yesterday and it kind of caught me off guard. So I'm being called to say this. I'm apprehensive to say this, but I'm in service. So here we go. For a small portion of you that can hold yourself through this deep, intimate, sensual, sexual work, there is a call for maybe some form of self-pleasure. There, I said it. Honor what that is. This was a narrative I just talked about in my session I had with a client before this, of just start planting seeds in your awareness of your sensual experience with the world around you. Now, sensual doesn't mean sexual. Sensual means being in tune with the world around you through your senses. So whether that's having a delicious meal or going for a walk and feeling how the sun caresses your face, These are sensorial experiences. And so this might be a way to safely and presently and compassionately start to bring in some of this safety back into the body, that you are loved, you are safe, you are worthy. You are worthy of pleasure, mind, body, soul pleasure, whatever that means and looks like to you. You are worthy to take up space. Your body, this is a specific message coming through. Your physical vessel is beautiful, sacred, and whole. No one has taken anything from you. You are whole today. You are whole despite the experiences that you've had. You are able to release what no longer serves. Whew. Hold on. You are sacred even if people have not treated you in a sacred, kind, present manner. You are whole, you are divine, you are loved, you are enough exactly as you are. And more specifically, your body is enough exactly how it is in this moment, whatever form and shape, however it moves and wiggles and jiggles and or not, however it moves, whatever state it's in, it is beautiful, it is divine, it is your sacred vessel, it is your temple, it's the house that you get to live in on this journey. It loves you as much as you love it. It loves you despite whether or not you love it. It is worthy, it is whole. I keep saying that, whole. You are whole, it is whole. We are whole despite our experiences. Okay. Yeah, and then in the unconscious position, we have evolve into your complexity. We have inner truth, and it's in you. Okay, that got heavy at the end. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this was supportive. If this was heavy for you, take some time to ground, get barefoot on the earth, drink enough water. Allow it to purge through your body. Eat grounding food, eat some like root vegetables. And if you need assistance, ask your family for help, your loved ones, seek help if you need it. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Hope you all have a wonderful day.